honores recibimos al excelentísimo señor Prem Rawat.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, distinguished guests,
Señor alcalde, invitados distinguidos,
first of all, I would like to thank
primero
you all for this generosity, which is very beautiful.
les quiero dar a todos las gracias por esta generosidad tan hermosa que han tenido,
The gifts that you have bestowed upon me,
los regalos que ustedes me han hecho
and the honor that you have bestowed upon
y el
me.
honor que ustedes me han concedido.
I'm very happy to have come to Cusco,
Estoy muy contento de haber venido al Cusco
and I've been reading a little bit about the history,
y he estado leyendo un poco sobre la historia.
and this was the capital
Y esta es la capital
of the Inca Empire.
del Imperio Inca.
And Inca Empire was nothing small.
Y el
It was
imperio
very, very large,
no fue ninguna cosa pequeña, claramente fue algo muy enorme,
with incredible innovations,
con innovaciones increíbles,
incredible technology for that time,
con una tecnología increíble para la época
and people who really understood and wanted to be one with nature.
y personas que realmente comprendían la naturaleza y querían ser unos con ella.
To bring the message of peace
Traer un mensaje de paz
amongst such a setting
en este ambiente
for the people,
para las personas,
because even then, peace was important.
porque aún en ese entonces la paz era importante
And today,
y hoy en día
peace is even more important.
la paz es aún más importante,
As we are busy with our lives,
ya que estamos tan ocupados con nuestras vidas,
as our
con
responsibilities,
las responsabilidades que tenemos,
trying to have prosperity,
tratando de lograr la prosperidad,
we cannot afford to overlook
no podemos darnos el lujo de pasar por alto
the very fundamental things that our ancestors worked for.
las cosas tan fundamentales por las que trabajaron nuestros antepasados,
And that is to have peace,
y es el tener la paz.
not conceptual
Y
peace,
no la paz conceptual,
but real peace.
sino paz verdadera.
Because one thing was understood,
Porque una cosa se entendía,
that when there was real peace,
que cuando había paz real,
then real prosperity could come.
entonces ahí podría llegar
People
la
could
prosperidad
flourish.
real.
People could
La
flourish.
gente podía florecer,
Civilization could go
la
forward.
civilización podía avanzar.
And even though we live in modern society,
Y aunque ahora vivimos una sociedad moderna,
in modern technology,
con tecnología moderna,
those fundamental things
esas cosas tan fundamentales
have not changed.
no han cambiado.
They ate food when they got hungry.
Comían cuando sentían hambre.
We need food when we get hungry today.
Nosotros también necesitamos comida hoy en día cuando sentimos hambre.
Clean water was important for them
El
then.
agua limpia era importante para ellos en ese entonces
Clean water is important for us now.
y para nosotros ahora también lo es.
When they got tired, they needed to sleep.
Cuando se cansaban, tenían que dormir.
When we get tired, we need to sleep.
Cuando nos cansamos nosotros, nosotros tenemos que dormir.
And sometimes the confusion comes
Y a veces entra la confusión
that we are different,
de que nosotros somos distintos,
but we're not.
pero no lo somos.
And so,
Y entonces,
with great joy
con gran alegría
and great honor,
y gran honor,
personally for me,
personalmente para mí,
to bring this message of peace
traerles este mensaje de paz
and to know that the receptivity for it
y saber que la receptividad ante este mensaje
in this area
en esta zona
is phenomenal
es fenomenal,
because people understand that.
porque las personas lo entienden.
In some ways, life is simple here,
De alguna forma la vida aquí es sencilla
and people want to look at themselves,
y la gente quiere verse a sí misma
understand their potential.
y quieren comprender ellos su propio potencial.
And this is the message that I take to people.
Y es este el mensaje que yo les llevo a las personas.
And fundamentally,
Y fundamentalmente,
the core
la esencia
of the message is
del mensaje
what you are looking for
es que lo que estás buscando
is inside of you.
se encuentra dentro de ti.
Not something that has to be imported,
No es algo que haya que importarlo,
not something you have to wait for,
no es algo que haya que esperarlo,
but what you're looking for
pero lo que estás buscando
is inside of you.
está dentro de ti.
Sometimes we forget
A veces olvidamos
to fly.
volar.
It's not that we have to reinvent wings,
No es que tengamos que reinventar las alas,
but we have to cut
sino que tenemos que cortar
the ropes
los lazos
that hold us back.
que nos están atando y reteniendo.
And once that is cut,
Y una vez que eso se corta,
flight comes naturally.
el vuelo viene naturalmente.
To fly,
El volar,
to soar, to be
flotar
free,
en el aire
to be free
y ser libre
in person's own being,
en el propio ser de la persona
and to find that strength,
y hallar esa fortaleza,
and to find that beauty,
hallar esa belleza
and indeed
y, por cierto,
find the peace.
hallar la paz.
So, once again, I would like to thank you
De nuevo, les quiero dar a todos las gracias
from the bottom of my heart,
desde el fondo del alma,
top of my heart,
desde la parte de encima del alma,
left of my
desde la
heart,
izquierda del alma,
right of my heart,
desde la derecha,
for your incredible generosity
por la generosidad tan increíble que
and
han
this
tenido
incredible welcome.
y por esta increíble bienvenida.
It is not so much that you welcome me,
No es tanto que ustedes me den la bienvenida a mí,
but you truly welcome the message that I
sino
represent.
que realmente le están dando a ustedes la bienvenida al mensaje que yo represento.
And anyone
Y cualquiera
who is looking for
que
peace,
esté buscando paz,
understands peace,
comprende la paz,
is interested in peace,
está interesado en la paz,
is a real friend of mine.
es un verdadero amigo mío.
So thank you very much. Thank you. Nice. Mayor, I have a gift for you
Señor alcalde, le tengo un regalo,
that I would like to give to you.
es para usted.
Thank you, thank you. And another little
Y
gift.
otro pequeño regalo.
Muchas gracias. Muy amable.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Mayor, authorities, distinguished guests. It's a great honor to be in Cusco. And Mr. Mayor, as you can see, I'm wearing the pin that you very graciously gave to me day before yesterday. To be here, and of course, the subject is peace. Now, when you start to ask the obvious questions, isn't peace good for us? Isn't that what we really want? At the beginning of this year, I was having an interview, and all of a sudden, of course, the interviewer, a very good friend of mine, was asking me questions. And then all of a sudden, I turned to him and I asked him a question. And the question was, why do you want peace? Do you want peace? And he, of course, said yes. And I said, why? Why do you want peace? So, of course, he gave a wonderful answer. But the issue is, where are we at? What is going on in this world? When we look at the society, one cannot help but see that there's something is wrong. Why? Well, the crime rate in this world has been steadily growing at 30%. In the United States of America, this is hard to fathom. In the United States of America, the prison population has increased in the recent years 790%. It's not a joke. One of the richest countries on the face of this earth. Globally, 30%. So then you look at it and you go, what's wrong with our society? There are social leaders here. There are businessmen here. And you all realize that through your businesses, you fulfill a need. Now, there was a time, a long time ago, people were hunter-gatherers. No farming. Not much to protect. Not much to take care of. Fences were not really needed. And then a revolution took place in the human existence. And this revolution was farming. Now, everything changed. Now, places had to be protected. The concepts of cities, the concepts of roads, the concepts of everything that we have today, we can reflect the birth of those things to us being able to farm. And hence, fulfilling needs amongst ourselves, for ourselves, societies. And then we look at the societies and we say, well, something is wrong. Of course, I must tell you one thing. I do recognize that there is good in this world. There are people like you who are interested in peace. But you see, there is a problem. And the problem is this. If one person has the flu and is sick, and you surround him with 10 healthy people, the health of the 10 healthy people will not cure the flu, but it'll be the other way around. The guy who has the flu will contaminate the 10 healthy people. So, there is good, but there is bad. So, when you have a problem, you have to look at it closer and closer and closer. You know, when you go to the doctor, he doesn't just look at you and go, oh, you look healthy, or Yeah, you look sick. No. He has instruments to look right inside your ear. He has instruments to look right at your retina. He has instruments to take your temperature. He has instruments to study your heartbeat. Looks closer and closer and closer and closer. So why don't we do the same thing? Since we see the sickness in the society, why don't we look closer and closer and closer and closer? And if you do, what do you think you will find? You will find at the core of the societies of this world, human being. Not human beings, human being. An individual, a person, like you, like me, wanting to be content. I know one thing, and each one of you has experienced this. There's nobody exempt. When you feel good on the inside, maybe it's just a beautiful day, sun is shining, temperature is right, skies are blue, you don't have problems that day, you've had a very good sleep, very, very good sleep, good coffee in the morning, birds are singing. But besides that, you're content. You feel good from the inside. What happens to you? What happens? Have you ever thought about it? What happens? An amazing transformation starts to take place. You become kind. You become courteous. And even if a problem comes to you, you are able to deal with it. Don't worry. What is your advice? What is your advice to your son or to your wife? Your wife says, "Oh, I don't know if we have enough rice. I think the refrigerator is broken." And what is your advice? Don't worry. Huh? Where did this come from? Where did this come from? Could it be that every single human being on the face of this earth is capable of being like that every day? Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine that there is a level of courtesy and the traffic police is just standing there? Because everybody is giving way to everybody. Good morning. Buenos dias. You first. Okay. Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be that those people who terrorize us come in and saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know what got into me. Please, you practice my religion or you practice your religion. Please do so. I will practice mine. And happiness to you. Long life to you. Prosperity to you. Could it be? Could it be? I mean, does this possibility exist? I was in Ecuador before I came to Peru. And one day, I was looking for my little camera, which was in its own case, and I couldn't find it. So I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So everybody started searching. And they called the hired luggage van. It was hired. And they said, could you look, see if there is a little case there? And a few minutes later, the reply is, they found your camera. The guy who found it could have just easily gone, I didn't find it. But he found it. And he said, I will drive it over. And it was an hour and a half drive. I'll bring it. I mean, my jaw was... So there is goodness. But that goodness does not manifest itself in the level of society, but it manifests itself on a very individual level. Individual level. So, all this to get to the individual. Who are you? Who are you? What are you? What are your needs? Think. Yes, you need food. Yes, you need air. You know, if you're really in good shape, maybe you can survive, some people do, survive 3 minutes without air. Maybe 3 days without water. 3 hours without the warmth. 3 weeks without food. So yeah, you need food. You need water. You need air. But what makes you complete? What makes you whole is when you are content on the inside. So what is this? It's a matter of perspective. Because we are looking for our answers on the outside when the answers lie on the inside. It's story time. A man was very unhappy with his house. He thought it was way too small. He had a farm, and on this farm he had a house, and he thought it was too small. Very unhappy. So he went to the wise man, and he says, I'm not very happy with my house. And so the wise man said, well, tell me about your house. He goes, there's a living room, there's a bedroom, there's a dining area, kitchen, but it's all too small. It's all too small. So the wise man said, well, what animals do you have? He says, I have some ducks. The wise man said, okay. Take all the ducks you have and move them in the house. The guy said, you crazy? I'm telling you, it's already small. And you want me to move the ducks in? He said, yes. Move the ducks in and come back a week later. And we see. So he moved the ducks in. Week later, he goes to the wise man and he says, it's terrible. There's hardly any room to walk. The ducks everywhere. He says, well, do you have anything else? He goes, yeah, I've got 20 or 30 goats. The wise man said, bring them into your house. He goes, are you crazy? I can't walk with the ducks. I bring 30 goats in. No, do it. Come back a week later. Now it's really bad. Goats everywhere, ducks everywhere. A week later, he goes back to the wise man. He says, oh, it's really bad now. It's really terrible. It's unlivable. So, well, you have anything else? He says, yeah, I have about 10 cows. He said, bring them in. So, a week later, he goes back. He says, okay, I have had enough. It's horrible. He says, okay, now take out all the ducks, take out all the goats, and take out all the cows. And come and tell me. And the man comes back with the biggest smile on his face. Is, oh, my house has so much room. I cannot believe it. With the cows gone, with the ducks gone, with the goats gone, now it's big. Do we appreciate what we have been given? Do we? Immediately, what comes to mind? My job. What comes to mind? My family. What comes to mind? My house. There's something else you have been given. And what you have been given is this life, is this existence. Do you appreciate that? To wake up in the morning, and understand that you are alive. I know many people are going, well, that's ridiculous. Is it? Is it? Is it? Because if you weren't, could you be a father? Could you be a mother? If you were dead, could you? And what would your boyfriend think? What would your girlfriend think? What will your children think? Could you run a business? No. You see, all that you have is because you are alive. And if you don't appreciate that, then you are not appreciating the obvious. If you don't understand that the peace that you are looking for is inside of you, you will never find it. It doesn't matter how much you look. Searching is not a matter of logging time. Searching is not a matter of saying to somebody, I have been searching for 80 years. In searching, the question is, did you find it? Not how long you searched, did you find it? If I am looking for something and I find it in 10 seconds, is that okay? Or should I be looking for 80 years? And this is what is not obvious. That there is good in every single human being. I take my message to prisons, and what happens? The transformation begins, and people in prison begin to find hope. Hope. In the most hopeless place. I mean, what do you hope for? What do you hope for in a prison? To get out. What else are you going to hope for if you're in a prison? But your hoping isn't going to help because there is a date that is fixed. You are in for 5 years, 15 years, 20 years. Wait. But there is another kind of hope. And this hope has something to do with being in peace inside. Do you have a thirst? People ask me, we live in the instant society. Instant, don't we? When we have the hot water tap, we go like this and is the hot water there yet? There yet? There yet? There yet? We get on an airplane on a 15-hour flight, and our question is, when are we going to get there? When are we going to get there? When are we going? If an airlines could fly you from Cusco to London in 2 minutes, be wonderful. Because we live in this instant society. You want love? I want now. Now. I want food now. But in this instant society, you want peace? Now? Now? And so people ask me, so how do you get it? How do you get it? How do you get it? And I say, thirst, thirst, thirst. Do you feel the thirst for peace? Do you? See, thirst is something that will make you very focused. Very focused. When your thirst is just a little bit, you will go, it'd be nice to have some water. Then as the thirst grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, I mean, if I was sitting here, I'm being, very aware. But if I got really, really thirsty, you think I wouldn't ask somebody, can I have a glass of water? Protocols aside. That's what thirst is. Thirst can cause you to look within you for the possibilities that exist inside of you. Long time ago, what did Socrates say? Famous. It's famous. Know thyself. Not somebody else. Know thy neighbor. Know thy dog. Know thy veterinarian. Know thy doctor. No. Know thyself. Because remember, that one thing that you want in the society exists not in the society, but on the individual level for all mankind. We look at the differences. We look at the differences. Just very recently, it was very fascinating. I had done an event in Patagonia, and then the next thing you know, I am in Norway. And we were flying in the helicopter. It was a really far away place. And we were flying in the helicopter, and I'm looking down, and I'm seeing the source of the lakes. And what is the source? The source of the lakes, little patch of ice melting, joining with another patch of ice that is melting, and some places it was nothing but just a few drops. A drop, a drop, a drop, a drop. And then joining and joining and joining and joining and joining and joining. And then before you know, it's a mighty lake. And then from the mighty lake was the mighty waterfall springing forth. Wow. Somebody said, there is a drop in the ocean. Everyone knows. We all know there's many drops in the ocean. There's a drop in the ocean. Everyone knows. But that there is ocean in the drop. Only a few know. Do you know that you are that drop, and in you is the ocean? Do you have this recognition? Because until you do, peace is going to be an illusion for you. Illusion. Huh? What did he say? Well, his peace is in me. No. Peace is in you. Peace is in you. You want better businesses? Strengthen the human being. You want better citizens? Strengthen the human beings that live in that country. We can all come together and we can praise things. And we can come up with definitions and we can come up with ideas. We can even come up with a song, a symbol. And we can all go around all day long saying, peace, 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 peace. There is, not too far from here, there is a city called La Paz. You think just because it's called La Paz, there is peace there? So then we should name all the cities La Paz. But that's not how peace happens. Peace happens when you acquire the ability to look within, inside of you. That's my very humbly, I say this. Oh yes, they say ambassador of peace. Yeah, it's just a title. It's just a title. When my wife gets mad at me, I cannot say, don't argue with me. I'm ambassador of peace. Can't say that. Sorry, it doesn't work at home. But the day I forget I am a human being, that's who I am, just like you. The day I forget who I am and my vulnerability, that is the day I become lost. And the day I find myself, I find my humility and my strength. Both. I find them together. I find my humility and I find my strength. Up till then, it's very, very easy, It's like you have a person, somebody who's a celebrity, and they've got big smile and this and that. And then, they have a court case or they're being sued or something bad. And then you look at their face and they're like, you forgot who you are. Don't forget. Don't forget who you are. Find your strength, find your goodness in understanding who you are every day. Find the ocean. in this drop. That's all. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.